Hi everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we turn confusing corporate reports into something resembling plain English. In this video, we're diving into Ralph Lauren's latest proxy statement, where we'll figure out who's running the show in 2025, what they're getting paid, and why you should care. It's a bit like deciding who gets to sit at the cool kids table and what they're serving for lunch, but today, instead of choosing a sandwich, it's about approving executive pay and choosing important members of the board. Before we start, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below. If you want to discuss further, feel free to join or ask questions there. Ralph Lauren's top dogs are pretty pleased with how things wrapped up in 2025. They say Ralph Lauren delivered on all key commitments and is in a position of strength and made meaningful progress to deliver long-term sustainable growth and value creation. Sounds pretty good. The report highlights driving desirability, focusing core products, and elevated experiences for consumers. But let's face it, we will look at some real numbers to make sure this report is actually grounded. First, the formal stuff. Stockholders are invited to join the annual meeting to be held on Thursday, July 31, 2025 at 9:11 a.m. Eastern Time. This meeting will be entirely online. Stockholders will be voting to elect 11 directors, ratify the appointment of Ernst & Young as their accounting firm, a huge fee that we will discuss later, and perform an advisory vote on executive compensation, aka paying themselves what they think they deserve. Let's meet the nominees. For the Class A director, they have Angela Arendts, Linda Findley, and Darren Walker. Arendt looks incredibly qualified, previously serving as Senior Vice President at Apple and CEO of Burberry. Lots of retail and brand experience, Findley bringing operations and marketing experience as President and CEO of Sleep Number and previously at Blue Apron looks solid as well. Lastly, Walker, the President of the Ford Foundation, offers insight into corporate citizenship and sustainability. These guys all seem very qualified, lots of big name experience. Now for the Class B directors, we have Ralph Lauren himself, Patrice Louvet, David Lauren, Frank Bennett Jr.'s old, Deborah Cupp, Michael George, and lastly, Valerie Jarrett and Wei Zhong. Overall, we see a diverse group in experiences, backgrounds, and business insights, not anything particularly alarming. Here it is, a balanced mix of skills for the board. Some are CEOs, others have international experience, others retail experience. They have policy experts and what sounds like more they could list. In terms of diversity, race, ethnicity, gender, and nationality is all represented. Looks good. Speaking of the directors and also the executives, it is also extremely important to keep an eye on what these people get paid. The report says they have a compensation program that rewards sustained business growth and aligns pay and performance, and a majority of each top executive's pay is variable based on how the company performs, not just a plain old fixed salary. For the top executives, key financial results for 2025 were strong, which greatly exceeded the target that was set with regard to the strategic goal modifier. Total company revenue was $7,145 million on a constant dollar basis, and adjusted operating profit margin was 14.3% on a constant dollar basis. That led to maximum payouts on their short-term plans and above target payouts for their longer-term performance share units. It pays to perform. All of these results combined meant maximum payouts of 200% of target for named executive officers in the short-term incentive plan, meaning executives got double their bonus. It would have been higher, but they capped it at 200%. Interesting choice. The results for performance share units based on cumulative 3-year adjusted returns on invested capital, again, a huge payout. As a layman, it pays to lead, and a great year like that means getting rewarded. How much do the board of directors get paid? Each non-employee director gets a $95,000 annual retainer, plus extra for being the lead independent director acting on a committee, and even more for being the chairman of a committee. It really adds up. Also note that one of the audit committee members, a Mr. Michael George, has been determined to be a financial expert by the board. Keep an eye on that name later. It also must be said that all of the officers and board members filed all mandatory reports properly and on time. It's good to see that people are playing by regulations. Importantly, there is also holdings requirements to ensure top leaders have skin in the game, with equity stock ownership guidelines for directors that are 5 times the annual cash retainer. Also, they can't pledge stock or hedge it or short sell. All the board, CEOs, officers are required to show the company that they are investing. All of our key staff have aligned incentives, meaning they win because the company wins, which means the company is looking good to you as a shareholder. Very based. The company is highlighting its focus in cybersecurity, including leveraging specialists with periodical review. A lot of companies, including huge ones like Optus here in Australia, get hit hard by these, so props on Ralph Lauren thinking about the long game and how these problems can create huge real impacts. Ralph Lauren has a dual-class stock structure in place which gives the founder of the company significant control. The nominating committee reviews our dual-class structure annually to align with stockholder interest and feedback to make sure this dual-class structure continues to work. Global citizenship and sustainability appears to be one of the most notable parts of the company. Their new function is timeless by design, which is interesting. Three main things here. Create with intent, integrated circularity, sustainable materials, design with intent, and a value chain for impact seems very important, although mostly a forward look and not backward looking. Protect the environment with an aim to use less water and waste. Champion better lives. Now listen up, because here is what the board recommends. This proxy statement is a request for your vote. They want you to elect all of the proposed members of the board, approve the appointment of Ernst & Young as accountants, and approve the compensation of executives. In short, they think you should go along with what they are doing and reward them. Let's dig into who actually owns the company. Ralph Lauren himself owns most of the Class B shares, giving himself about 85% voting power. Class A is spread to a few investment firms like BlackRock and Vanguard, who only get a couple percent of the votes each, compared to Ralph's monster share. In short, these figures and proportions tell who is actually steering the wheel of the business. How much did the accountants at Ernst & Young make? Well, nearly $8 million after adding it all up, and all the board is willing to recommend them. It's also interesting that, other than the fees shown in cash, the stock award seems to be pretty standard to be the same across board members at around 17 internal company cost standard, while still rewarding them well. Now let's review the financials Ralph Lauren delivered against their multi-year strategic plan. They have a fortress foundation, and they continue increase the quarterly dividend and make hundreds of millions worth of buybacks. You'll notice talk about adjusted ROIC and TSR, metrics intended to align pay with performance as they mentioned above. But let's get back to the big picture. What does all this mean? For TB Ultra is that compensation is tied tightly to long-term sustained performance, with the key leaders having serious levels of skin in the game. This is a good sign, as they have to perform to get paid out well. Now, for my take, this company is looking solid. What are their strengths? They manage a wide range of risks due to all different kinds of world events and potential scandals. They have an awesome brand name and have the revenue to back it up. They got solid leadership with the big man R. Lauren, a true leader in the fashion world. As for weaknesses, all listed members are over 65. Not to mention there is a big risk if Ralph Lauren passes to his kids or other top leaders, but that seems very manageable. Alright, that's our breakdown of Ralph Lauren's latest proxy statement. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.